Yeah. Okay. So, hi everybody. My name is Ahmed Nova, and I would like first to thank you all for joining us today. This will be like a continuation of the 2022 Premier Hypofractionated Radiation Therapy Educational Course and Contouring and Planning Activities. As you all know, we have started um, maybe in July 8th with the educational core component, and we completed it in July 30th. And today we will be starting or launching the second component, which is focusing on the contouring and planning activities. In today's session or talk or presentation, I will be sharing with you some details about the whole process, and also the steps that participants need to go through, along with other details at the end, and also important dates and other details related to hours and some timeline. So first, allow me to start with some statistics, which is really good news, that so far we have 2,200 participants registered from more than 80 countries worldwide. And this number is really showing us how important and how keen people are when it comes to learning, and also how they would love to have always knowledge sharing, so that they will learn from experts. And also, on the other hand, we would like to thank all experts who share their knowledge with others. So this course has been successful so far, and we are very grateful for all contributors. In the beginning, just let me quickly go through the whole process that we have done so far. So this will be the HFRT event workflow. So we started with educational event, through which teams of experts covered three clinical sites, which took place through Zoom, that has some discussion and quality question and answer and pre-assessment survey. Then the second component will be the contouring and planning activities that we are going to launch today. It will start with the contouring activities, in which participants will be guided to go to Radiation Knowledge Education website and follow the steps that they received through email, and start performing or start contouring some structures, some targets, as well as organs at risk. After they finish the contouring, the planning activity will start, in which participants will download the structure set and the planning guideline PDF. Then after that, they will import it to their treatment planning system and then generate plans. And then after that, they will be evaluating this plan on the same platform that we have. And then after that, they will keep trying until they get high scores. And then after that, they will do their final submission. Then after that, we will receive all plans and start the scoring, and start categorizing the planners based on their scores. And then after that, we will define the top planners list. And then after that, on September 3rd, there will be the closing ceremony that will have the awards, the closing remarks, as well as the knowledge sharing session, through which best planners in the world will be sharing their planning techniques, so that planners in the low and middle income countries and in other parts of the world can learn how to use their treatment planning system, following the guidance of the best planners in the world. So this was just a quick overview on the whole workflow of the event that we have so far. This is the timeline of the schedule. As we said, in the first month was composed of 4 lectures, and then this coming week we will be having the planning activity, and then on September 3rd we will be having the concluding remarks, then our distribution and knowledge sharing sessions. So as a quick introduction about what we have done so far in the educational course, we had in the first week The second day of the Global Health Catalyst was to discuss about the hypofractionation in general and the advantages and some of the clinical outcomes of it, which took place in Johns Hopkins Medicine Sibley Memorial Hospital in Washington, D.C. This actually conference, I can say that it was one of the most successful conferences that I ever attended, due to the fact that I met with people, very bright people, very nice initiatives, and the amount of collaborations that came out of it was really something really mind-opening, eye-opening or mind-blowing. And I hope I'll be attending this every year, so that we will learn what others are doing. We will share what we are doing, so that we will be more or less like connected worldwide, and this will be like a good indication for the improvement in the global health quality. The second week was about breast cancer, and in this session, the discussion was focusing on the breast cancer and the HFRT from consult to treat, the whole workflow, and the team of experts from Harvard Medical School gave this presentation, and it was really a very good interaction between the speakers and the attendees. The third session was focusing on the cervical cancer. Also, we covered the whole workflow from consult to treat, including simulation, CT, and planning, contouring, planning, and treatment. And also, the team of experts discussed this focus on the cervical cancer was from University of Pennsylvania. And the fourth session was focusing on the prostate cancer, from consult to treat workflow, and the team of experts was from Johns Hopkins Medicine. So by this, we concluded the educational component of our activity, and then we will start with the second component, which is the contouring and the planning activity. So from now on, I will start talking about the planning activity, some details about it, some introduction about it, and also some details what planners are supposed to be facing or doing. So, about in the beginning about the contouring and planning activities in general. So far we have more than 1,300 participants registered in the contouring and planning activity. In the overall event, we had 2,100, 2,200. And in the planning and the contouring activities, we have 1,300 participants. The platform used for both activities for the contouring and planning is the rkeducase.com, which is built jointly in collaboration between Radiation Knowledge and Educase. The study case provided by NCIA, Lagos University Teaching Hospital from Nigeria, so special thanks to them. This event is suitable for all members of radiation therapy team, means that radiation oncologists can participate, medical physicists can participate, and also radiation therapists and dosimetrists. The case is high-risk prostate cancer, and the plan to treat only his prostate and seminal vessels with external beam radiation therapy using the CHIP regime, which is 60 gray in 20 fractions. The CHIP trial stands for conventional or hypofractionated high-dose high-dose intensity modulated radiation therapy for prostate cancer. And this is the timeline of the planning activities. So in August 2nd, we send an email to all participants about the contouring activity, about the how will they register, how will they step by step getting started on how to start contouring. All the details have been sent to participants via email. And today I'm sharing with you some details about the contouring and planning activity. Starting from tomorrow and day after tomorrow, the participants will be asked to go and log into the rkeducase website so that they can start contouring the homework that they have. Then on August 10th to 12th, the planning activity will start in which planners will download the DICOM structures and then start using their treatment planning system to generate plans. After that, on August 14th, all planners are supposed to submit their contours and final plans for evaluation. Now, in September 3rd, there will be knowledge sharing session, awards, and closing remarks. Let's start with the contouring activity. So the faculty of it, like Dr. Omeri Credit, he's from Thomas Jefferson University Hospital, Dr. Wilfred Ingvar from John Hopkins Medicine, Dr. Saiful Haq from University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, Dr. Stephen Avery, University of Pennsylvania, and Ahmed Noble from King Faisal Specialist Hospital and Research Center. The case study is a 65-year-old male presented to community clinic for annual screening and was noted to have a PSA of 9.2. He subsequently underwent a prostate biopsy revealing a Gleason of 4+4 and 4 of 12 cores. His prostate imaging is negative for extracapsular extension and seminal vessel invasion. No pelvic lymphadenopathy and no metastasis. The contouring activity structure set is composed of two components. The first one is the target. The target is CTV 60_20 and the PTV 60_20. The organs at risk, including in this case, are composed of bladder, rectum, bowel, penile bulb, prostate, seminal vessels, and femoral head, right and left. This is an example of the case with the contours, and as you can see, there are some overlapping between the bladder, rectum, and the PTV, as well as the penile bulb. But the CTV is subtracted from the rectum as well as the bladder. And in this case, the participants will be asked to contour, to have some homework, which is simply completing the contours of the CTV and PTV. And when it comes to organs at risk, they need to contour bladder, rectum, bowel, penile bulb, prostate, and seminal vessels. So this is when it comes to the contouring event. And now let's go a bit deeper into the contouring process. So all details have been sent to participants via email last week. Video tutorial for contouring homework is available on the website, and also contouring video tutorial link is included in the contouring PDF sent. So participants need to read their emails and follow the steps provided in their email. And also we provided a contouring PDF. And then after that, they need to follow these steps and start contouring using the platform. These are the steps. So in the beginning, they will log in. And as you can see, they need to go to lunch. Okay, after they log in, they need to fill some information if they didn't fill their information about countries and some details. Then when they log in, they need to come to something on lunch, the case viewer. Then the second step will take, like, depending on your internet speed, the case will start launching. And then after that, you will see the case and you will see some contouring tools on top. And then you will start scrolling down in the CT slices and start contouring the organs at risk as per the homework and the guidelines provided in the PDF. And also, as I said, there is a detailed video on how to do it, on how to do the step-by-step process for contouring. In this homework, keep in mind that you will be asked to contour all the structures and all the CTV, all the CTV and PTV. Of course, for dosimetrists, physicists, or radiation therapists, they may not know how to contour the CTV or PTV. It's fine, just contour what you can. So just participate and contour everything. This whole activity is all about it's purely educational. So don't feel bad that I cannot contour or so. We all here for learning. Now, when it comes to the treatment planning activity, so the planning activity, the objectives, as you know, in general, if any planner is asked to do a certain plan, so the planner is supposed to generate a plan with a homogeneous dose to PTV and homogeneous dose for a CTV. This is in general. In our case, a bit of The homogeneity is a bit more difficult for the CTV, so we want to make sure that the CTV is receiving really homogeneous dose, and also dose homogeneity, dose conformity for the PTV, so that we ensure that the normal tissue outside the target is not really irradiated with the prescribed dose. And then another objective that we will be learning is to reducing the dose to organs at risk as much as we can. And also you will be noticing that there are some overlapping between the targets and the organs at risk, like the bladder as well as the rectum. And in this kind of exercise or activity or plan, the planners is supposed to achieve good coverage and good conformity to the tumor, but at the same time, sparing the bladder and the rectum not to exceed certain criteria. So this is like a bit challenging, but by trials, I'm sure most of the planners will be able to do it. And what we are planning here is not just to ask planners to generate very high quality plans that cannot be delivered. Actually, we added few parameters in this planning challenge, planning competition or planning activity, that we want to ensure that the plans generated by planners, even by top planners, the highest plans are supposed to be acceptable, and they can have some acceptable delivery parameters, so that the top planners are supposed to provide maybe some quality assurance as a proof that their plans can be delivered, and they are not simply like very complicated plans that they are not practical. When it comes to the case details and planning, so it's high risk prostate cancer. The dose fractionation is 60 gray in 20 fractions and 3 gray per fraction. We're following the CHIP clinical trials. The techniques allowed are IMRT and 3D CRT, photon beams, no protons are allowed, and the modalities allowed only C-shaped linear accelerators, so tomotherapy, halcyon, or cyberknife are not allowed. Planning guidelines and technique. So we will start with the technique. So we said 3D CRT, IMRT. IMRT can be step and shoot or sliding window, and also VMAT. Modalities and machine, as we said, C-shaped linear accelerators. And when it comes to the maximum number of fields allowed, for 3D CRT, planners are allowed to use 9 fields. For fixed angle IMRT, planners are allowed to use 7 beams. And for VMAT, planners are allowed to use maximum of 2 full arcs. And as you can see, 3D CRT 9 fields, IMRT 7 fields, and VMAT 2 full arcs. There is, a very important factor that can be considered as a good indicator for the plan complexity, which is something called IMRT factor or MU factor, which is simply the ratio between the total MU divided by the prescribed dose. So suppose that we have a VMAT plan that deliver 200 centigrade per fraction, and the MUs was, let's say, 3,000. So this means that the plan is extremely modulated, very complicated plans, because the IMRT or MU factor is very high. And this will cause a lot of problems during the delivery, the clinical delivery, as well as during the quality assurance process. So this is why we added this factor, in order to ensure that the high quality plans generated by planners are controlled by this factor. So for fixed angle IMRT, the MU factor is supposed to be less than 5 for flat beams, and less than 7 for flattened filter-free beams. And for VMAT, it should be less than 3 for flat beam. When I say flat beam, I said X beam, which is a flat beam that has flattening filter, and less than 5 for VMAT plans that has FFF beams. The allowed radiation beams are only photon beams, and the energies allowed are 4x and 4FFF, 6x and 6FFF, 10x and 10FFF, 15x and 15FFF are not allowed. Unless for 3D CRT, you can use the 15 MV if it's only 3D CRT. Why is that? Because, as you know, when the energy increases and there is an MLC, which is high Z material on the way, neutrons will be generated. So this is why for IMRT or VMAT, the maximum energy allowed will be 10x and 10FFF. For planners who are trying to use 15x or 15FFF for 3D CRT, this will be allowed. But for IMRT and VMAT, this is not allowed. And the allowed geometry will be only one isocenter for all the fields, and all of them should be coplanar fields. I know that some planners can do amazing plans with non-coplanar couch kicks and these kind of complexities, but we also need to ensure that the plans generated are deliverable. So this is why we want to conventionally, in most centers, prostate cases are treated with one isocenter and all coplanar fields. So this is why we're trying to mimic the clinical settings and at the same time get high quality plans. These are the dosimetric criteria that planners are supposed to meet in their plan. And this is a quick explanation. What does it mean? So as an example, if we looked at, let's say, CTV 60_20, so the first criteria will be the dose constraint D99, the dose of 99% of the volume should be, if it's more than 60 gray, then the planner will have 15 points. So as you can see, the green here matches the green here. And this is X2, Y2. So X2 here is the value and Y2 will be the score. So what if a planner scored, let's say, 56? So 56 is less than 57. So the planner will get 0 score. What if the planner scored 58? So it will be in between in this line. Okay, so it'll be some linear interpolation between the full mark and the 0 mark. And the rest will be following the exact same methodology. Let me just give you a quick hint about this plan. So the most sophisticated or complicated criteria will be the D1 of the CTV20, and also the D1 of the PTV20, along with the planner. So these are, and also the rectum. So it's not going to be impossible to do it, but it's a bit challenging. So that the beauty of having planners pushing their system to the maximum is that they will start learning. If they faced clinical case that is a bit complicated, they will start learning more about the capabilities of the system. They can change the arc geometry, they will use different energies, they will use different numbers, so that they will make sure at the end that they are getting high quality plans. If you are planning regular plans all the time, you will not know the capabilities of your treatment planning system. From time to time, you need to face some difficult cases so that you will be able to achieve high quality plan and learn more about it. And this personally taught me a lot. I participated in different planning competitions, and I will be participating, by the way, in this competition. Okay, so I'll be with you and pushing myself to the limit and see if I will beat you all, guys. And when it comes to the planning evaluation process, so the download button or options on the radiation on the EduCase platform will be activated on October 10th. And a video tutorial for plan evaluation is on a link in the EduCase website, as you can see here. So when you log in, following the exact process that is described in the video, after you see this launch case, you will see here plan training tutorial. So this video will show you from A to Z, how will you open the plan, how will you download the case, how will you use your treatment planning system. This is your own. Then after you prepare your plan, you need to upload the RD, the dose file and the plan file, and then it will be evaluated. And this is what we'll be discussing soon as well. So when it comes to the planning upload, the planner is supposed to upload only 2 files. So we will not accept a structure set file from planners. We will not accept image set from planner. We will be only allowing planners to upload only 2 files. The first file is the RD dose, which is the dose file. The second file is the plan file, which is RP. Another important point I would like to raise here is that some treatment planning systems, when you want to export the plan, the dose are exported per field, which means that if you have 7 fields, you will be having 7 dose files, which is not going to be accepted in our platform. Planners know how to export 1 dose file for the whole plan. That will include the overall dose from all fields. Okay, not dose per field. And also the size of the uploaded files or trial plans that you are doing should not exceed 50 megabytes. So this is also a very important point that you need to pay attention to. And this is the process now. Quickly, again, the process is when you log into the Educase RK platform, you have plan evaluation events, then you select plan event listing. When you click that, then you will be directed right away to this platform. And as you can see, there are 2 buttons. The first one is to download. The second one is to upload. If you open this now, you will not be allowed to download because today is not August 10th. On August 10th, planners, this button will be activated and planners will be able to download this file, the CT structure set, the CT images, and structure set along with the PDF of the guideline of the planning. And then after planners are doing their plans, they would like to see how much they scored. Then they need to click this button, which is the upload, and then they need to select the RT plan file, which is 1 file, the RD file, which is also 1 file. And as you can see here, it's only 1 file. And as long as you have green, this means that the file format is acceptable. Then you need to write the trial. So based on our experience, when you want to go through planning competitions, the issue is that sometimes you do trial 1, trial 2, trial 3, trial 4, trial 5. Sometimes you reach trial 10, but you notice that trial 8, for example, has the highest score. So this is why for you to be sure that you're always tracking the plan with, and you need to name it in a way that is descriptive to you, so that when you want to come back later to it, you will know that this trial I could score the highest, so this is what you should be submitting at the end. And with this, we reach to the prizes and awards. Following the WHO regions, so WHO, the World Health Organization, divided the world into 6 categories: Africa, Americas, North and South East Asia, Europe, Eastern Mediterranean, and Western Pacific. So in the beginning, when it comes to the prizes, we are going to have to give prizes to the overall top 2 planners of the treatment planning competitions. So they will receive, the first one will receive 2,000, the second one will receive 1,000. So this is overall for participants worldwide, regardless of where they are located. Then the second type of prizes, along with the professional recognition, there will be, like, for each region, there will be a region top prize, which is $1,000 for the best planner in that specific region. So this will be $1,000. And in my opinion, the more important than the prizes, which is the money, there will be like a list of top planners that will be announced at the end of this competition. And there will be, like, we will be announcing on our website, and we will be distributing, and we will be sharing also in the knowledge sharing session that will take place at the end of September 3rd, through which we will be mentioning the top 50 planners worldwide, and mentioning their names, their hospitals, and their score as well, their techniques, their treatment planning system. And this, based on my personal experience, is really very valuable, because this is a very professional recognition for you as planner, with respect and compared to the planners worldwide. And you will be considered as one of the best planners in the world. So this is why it's something worth actually trying and worth the time invested in this event. And, like I would like to share with you a few questions and answers based on the questions that I received in the past week after we started releasing some details. So the first question is, for the contouring activity, no MRI, what was registered to help in contouring? Why is that? So mostly in the prostate cases, there should be an MRI. But in our case, we didn't provide any MRI, so that we will learn to perform contouring using CT only, as MRI is not available in LMIC. So the focus in this event is more on the low and middle income countries. So most of these countries, they don't have the luxury of having an MRI. So this is why we would like to ask experts to start contouring based on CT only. It may not be accurate, but this can be a good guidance for radiation oncologists in a low middle income countries. So this can be a learning experience for them by experts to use only CT. The second question is, why other treatment modalities such as tomotherapy, halcyon, and CyberKnife are not allowed? Majority of centers in the world and in LMIC are LINAC-based centers. So this is the target of this event. So we are targeting now the majority of hospitals worldwide, which mostly have only linear accelerator radiation delivery machines. Question 3, I'm a dosimetrist or physicist. Is participating in the contouring event mandatory? No, it's not mandatory, but we highly recommend you to participate and try to contour the organs at risk, and give it a try to contour the CTV and PTV. You really don't know that this activity is purely educational. So this is why you're not going to lose anything. Try your best, and then at the September 3rd, you will see experts, how will they contour, and then you will compare your contours with the contours of an expert. Question 4, the allocated time for treatment planning activity is short, 4 days. Can it be extended? So we would like to apologize for that. 4 days may be enough to finish the plan and focus on your other clinical work. And keep in mind that if we extended it, like in the previous competitions, we used to extend it for 1 month and 2 months, but we noticed that planners are delaying the planning until the last days. So this is why we would like planners to just focus for a few days, do their best, and then submit their plan. And we extended actually the planning competition until August 14th, which means that even, I myself, when I was participating, I was coming in the weekend because I was busy during the day. And then in the weekend, I was spending hours and hours to be able to achieve high quality plans. So it's good time, and it's only one time, so only 4 days. So I advise you to spend a bit of time, like 4 days will be good enough, good time to accomplish high quality plans. Now, are we going to plan using the contours we generate in the contouring homework? No, actually, because if we allowed participants to contour, and then based on their contours, they will do plan, we will not have a unified dose constraints. So we will be having different volumes for organs at risk. We will be having different volumes for PTV. So the contouring component was only for contouring, like as a homework only, for exercising only. And then this is why we're asking planners to upload their RD and RP files. The structure set that is going to be used in the plan evaluation will be the reference structure set that everyone will be downloading on August 10th. And by this, I come to the end of this quick and brief introduction about the planning and contouring activity. I would like to know, like, if anybody has any questions, or if anybody has any problems facing, you can contact me. This is my mobile number. I'm maybe very, very famous worldwide now. Everybody is texting me, and I'm that fast. Many people are contacting me. I have no idea who are they. They're just sending me questions. I'm answering them. And at the end, I'm telling, by the way, what's your name? And this is my email if somebody would like to contact me using my email. And if in case there is any kind of difficulties that you're facing in dealing technical problems in dealing with the RK Educase platform, you can contact the support Educase. And by this, I would like to thank everybody for joining us in this session. And I cannot tell you how excited I am in this competition. I'll participate myself, and let's see. But I promise you, I will not add myself I will not add a number beside myself if I could be among the top 10 or so, so that I'll leave the door open for others. So if anybody has any question, please feel free to ask questions. So I have so far like 15 questions on the Q&A. Let me just look at them one by one. Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you very much for this chance. I need to ask about the contouring homework. How should we go through it? So Hajar Muhammad is asking question about, I need to ask about the contouring homework. How should we go through it? Hajar, if you could read the email in details, and in the email, as long aside from the PDF document that is provided, is telling you exactly step by step, starting from logging into the website and then going step by step on how to start contouring, how to erase, how to move from slide to slide, how to change Hounsfield unit, how to change the window level, how to contour and complete, and how to select a certain structure and then contour. It explains everything from A to Z, as well as there is also a video tutorial that you can watch so that it will show you all the parameters in the platform. Can we get access to the breast cancer lectures, as I didn't get the link? Yes, of course. Like many people also asked me about either the presentations, the PDF, or the videos for previous lectures. We will be providing them shortly with all participants. We really apologize for the late release of these videos, but by time we will be sending the links for all participants after we finish either the whole activity or the planning activity. Is contouring for doctors only or only for physicists as well? The contouring is for all, because as you see, there are some contours that are for organs at risk, and some contours are for CTV and PTV. So I would advise, if radiation oncologist in your hospital would like to participate, I suggest that he will register and he will perform the contours himself, so that it will be better than he will be contouring the CTV and PTV for the planner, and the planner will contour the organs at risk. So let's try to do it ourselves, and let's see how we can go about it. And please show the previous slides again. Which slide, Dr. Salim? So which one? Let's see. This slide. This slide, Dr. Salim, you're asking for the target with targets information. Is it this one, Dr. Salim? Dr. Salim? So let me know if this is the one that you're asking for, Doctor. Maybe you mean this one. This one, maybe. Yeah, so the next question is, as a radiation oncologist, we are only contour and assess the plan in our daily practice, but not performing the plan itself as planner. In this case, what will be the competition for radiation oncologists? Let me tell you something, Dr. Jalil, that believe it or not, in previous competitions, there are some radiation oncologists participated, and they scored well. So I think it will be a good opportunity for you also to start learning your treatment planning system, and then see how it can be. For radiation oncologists, your contours will be compared with the reference contours at the end of the session on September 3rd. So this can be like we will be scoring the contours like submitted by each participant. So this also can be considered not a competition, but I would say a source of assessment for the performance of for contouring as well. Mahmoud Fishaw, what is the CI formula you use? It's the RTOG simple one, which is the volume of the prescribed dose, the 95 dose prescription divided by the volume of the PTV. We didn't include the more sophisticated one that includes the spill factor and conformity factor. We wanted to make it a bit simple in this activity. Is there an option to change the window level on the EduCast platform? Yes, there is an option to change it. So I advise you to look at the video. It shows you in details how to navigate all the options and the tools in the platform. Thank you so much, Dr. Ahmed. Thank you, Reem, for your kind words. Kindly share this presentation for reference. I'll do that. I'll send this email with all participants after this talk. Could you please, we have to contour on our TPS or in website. We prefer to contour on the website because, because this is why we wanted planners to this is why we want to release the structures on August 10th. Okay, so this is why it's better to contour. And by the way, it's really nice platform, so it's easy. You just need to make use of it, to just get used to it. And it's gonna take like less than like 10 minutes to start to understand all the details of it. It has, arrays, it has a Boolean, it has, some contours. It's really nice tools that are there in the EduCast website. Do we have to contour the patient external on contouring homework? No, patient external, like the body, no need. Because, in the homework, it's in detail provided what exactly you need to contour. Based on my presentation, as well as based on the PDF that we provided, we mentioned in details the structures, organs at risk, as well as the target that you need to contour. We are going to depend on delineate the case, then do the plan on the delineation? No, what we will be doing is you will do the contouring or the delineation of the target and the organs at risk and then submit it. And then after that, on August 10th, you will be allowed to download the reference structure set that includes the target and the CT image and the organs at risk. And then you will import it to your treatment planning system. And then you will start reading the planning guidelines when it comes to plan details, plan geometry, all the details, as well as those constraints. Okay, so you are going to use the reference CT and the reference structure sets. I did not receive the email. If anybody didn't receive an email, you can contact me on my email or my WhatsApp. We will make sure that you will receive it. And I'm responding, except the time that I'm sleeping. I'm always active on WhatsApp. So either WhatsApp or email, it will take me less than an hour to answer anybody. When we do contouring, will the reference contour be available at the same time? No, because it's this way, it will not give you some kind of challenge, a bit of challenge. So we would like you to contour first, and then and you need to submit. Then after that, all planners will be receiving some kind of assessment to compare their contours with the reference contours. And this will be discussed by an expert at the end of the event, which is September 3rd. What about the facilities with only Cobalt 60? It can't be the same. You mean planning? It's an interesting question. I would ask you to give it a try and see. Okay, so after you finish the plan, try to upload it. In case the format of your plan and those was not acceptable, we surely can find other ways to evaluate your plan and get it to you in timely fashion. But we need to face this problem first. Then we will see how we can solve this problem. Not at the beginning. Dr. Salim, if you can write to me exactly which slide, maybe I will do it for you. And I will share this presentation, by the way, before the end of this day with everybody. Just for clarification, we can depend on EduCase as planning system only. No, EduCase platform will be only for contouring. For plan evaluation, but it's not performing dose calculation. The dose calculation is performed by your treatment planning system. The engine, radiation knowledge engine, will be calculating the dose volume histogram to show the dose volume histogram for you. And based on the calculated dose volume histogram, it will calculate your score based on what you achieve with respect to the constraints requested. Sorry, but we're gonna delineate the cases or depend on the already delineated cases exist at the site. No, you need to contour. Currently, when you open the EduCase, in this case, you will not see any contours. When you open it, it will be empty. It will only be CT. You will start selecting the structure and start contouring it slice by slice. Okay. Then after you complete, for example, bladder, you go to the next. After you complete femoral head right, you go to the next, and so forth. So you will have an empty images and ready for you to start contouring. I missed the education lectures. Are they recording? Yeah, they are all recorded. And at the end of this whole event, we will be sharing with you the link and the link through which you can go and register. There will be some username and password you need to subscribe, and then after that you will be able to watch these videos. Yes, thank you. Can go to the next slide, please. Yes. So that we don't confuse everybody. So look, so I will start from here. Let's say, so this is slide 3. This is slide 4, this is slide 5, this is slide 6, this is slide 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and this is 19. So please, if anybody would like me to show a certain slide, you have all of there in terms of numbers, you can just specify the number, maybe 11. So thank you, Ahmad, for your great work. What margin for PTV? Thank you. I think, to be honest, I'm not quite sure about that accurately, so I will not answer this question. But I will ask Dr. Credit and then get back to you. I was registered for both lectures planning, but I cannot attend the lecture due nothing sent me. They accept or no, please send me. Okay, well, sorry for that, Maha, and we will provide you with the videos soon, links. Dear, can you send the lectures in PDF and PDF? Yeah, we contacted the speakers and we asked for their permission to share their PowerPoint presentation or PDF, and we will get back to you as soon as we hear from them. And also, as I said, when it comes to the videos, we will be sharing these videos. There are any simulation program for it? Which one? I don't understand this question. Thank you, Ahmad, Nohil. Thank you, Ahmad, and all team. Thank you for attending, Nohil Diaz. Concerning, Hajar is asking, concerning contouring homework, what is required is obvious, but the CT case I have downloaded looks locked. There is only 2 buttons, upload. Yeah. So Hajar, you opened the plan evaluation. You didn't open the plan contouring. So you know that we have 2 activities. The first one is contouring. And so you need to read the contouring PDF. The contouring PDF will ask you, if you follow the steps, you will go to the CT that will allow you to start selecting structures and then contouring. If you follow the plan evaluation guidelines, then you will go to the planning activity, which means that you are not supposed to contour anything. You will be supposed to upload your plan and you will not be able to contour. So that's why you will need to read the structures, read the steps in the contouring PDF well, and then follow the steps, and then you will be able to contour. If you didn't receive that PDF, please let me know. And you have my number on Telegram. Let me know. I can send you the PDF on Telegram and even on your email. Could you please show us those criteria? This is a question from a planner that would like to get ready for the competition. Yes, I'll do that, Howard. So this is it. So can you see it, Howard? So as you can see, we have five constraints for targets and 5 constraints for organs at risk. 5 constraints for targets, they are 50 points out of 100, and 5 constraints for organs at risk that are 50 points out of 100. The total will be 100 out of 100. Mahmoud al-Fishawi is saying, is the platform still open after deadline to upload plan? I would not say yes. We will say no, but we will see how things will go. But in case we kept it open, any planner who's going to submit his or her plan and scored very high score, he will not be among those are taking prizes in case he was among the top planners, because here we are limiting the time as well as the score. So if you scored highly and you submit late, then you should not be compared with those who submitted their high quality plans on the scheduled time and before the deadline that we define. For the plan evaluation, which criteria you are using or you think better to use among CI, conformity index, GI, HI, or PARIC? So we, in this planning competition, we have 2 indices. The first one is the conformity index. The second one is the homogeneity. The homogeneity index, actually, we didn't use the homogeneity index per se, but we included, as you can see here, D99 and D1. So these are the 2 main parameters for the homogeneity index. So this shows how good your DVH, how sharp the fall off of your DVH, how homogeneous the dose covering your CTV and PTV. So this is the indication or the parameter or an indicator of your plan homogeneity. So we didn't have a homogeneity index. We had D99 and D1%. But when it comes to conformity index, we had a conformity index that is simply the RTOG, simple uniformity conformity index, which is simply the volume of the prescribed dose, the volume of the prescribed dose divided by the volume of the target, which is the PTV. And then, does the criteria for MUs? Yes, there is a criteria for MUs. As I said, there is something called MU factor or IMRT factor. So the IMRT factor or MU factor is simply the total number of MUs for all fields divided by the prescribed dose. So suppose that you have a total of 1,000 MUs for all the fields, and the prescribed dose is this say 300 centigrade. So the MU factor here will be 3.3 or so. For let me show you exactly the presentation, the exact slide, so that I'll not waste time. So this is the slide for the MU factor. So as you can see here, for fixed angle IMRT, the MU factor for flat beam is supposed to be less than 5. For if somebody is using fixed angle IMRT with FFF beams, the MU factor should be less than 7. For those who are using VMAT plans, the FFF and they are using flat beams, the MU factor is supposed to be less than 3. For those who are using FFF beams, the MU factor is supposed to be less than 5. And quickly, like also maximum number of fields. For 3D CRT, the maximum number of fields are 9. The fixed angle IMRT will be 7. VMAT maximum number of arcs will be 2. And all these details, by the way, I shared them in this presentation, but they are also included in the planning guidelines that will be distributed on August 10th. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your efforts. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ahmed. Thanks a lot. Thank you for your presentation. I really appreciate, guys, your time and your patience. And I'm so excited about this planning activity. And please share it with your colleagues. By the way, when it comes to registration, we have to be a bit careful. If anybody is interested to participate in the planning competitions, you literally have few days only, 1 day, 2 days, something like that. If you registered now, we will be able to update the list, and then after that, we will be able to send you all the details. If you registered on, let's say, a Wednesday or Thursday, it will be a bit difficult for us to collect all the list, the newly registered ones, and send all the details to them. So please, if you would like to, if your colleagues would like to participate, ask them to register now, so that before Wednesday or before Thursday, we will close the registration, so that we will start focusing on solving the problems in case any problems came out during the plan evaluation and the hot type or busy time. So if anybody has any question, please ask. Thank you all. Thank you, Dr. Waleed. Please, could you share the slide that has the plan evaluation criteria again? Yes, sure. So this is it. So this is the plan criteria. So as I said, like as a quick description for it. So as long as your scored value or your what you could achieve from your plan is meeting the green, either bigger or smaller depending on the criteria, then you are in the green side, so you scored the full mark for that specific constraint. If your score was in the orange area, which is between the full mark and the 0, you will be having a score based on the linear interpolation between the 2 points. If your scoring or your score or your value was in the red or below or above, depending on the constraint, you will get 0. Then after that, your score will be out of 100. And whenever you evaluate a plan, you will be having a PDF that will include 4 pages, the plan details, the plan statistics, the dosimetric statistics, those statistics, DVH, and the score of your plan. And always, as a last advice for planners, try to make your plans, when you want to name your trial, try to make them descriptive, which means that when you name, don't say plan 1. You say, for example, plan 1 underscore, what is that score of that plan? So that when you look at all the plans, you will see score 95, 82, 85, so that you know exactly which is the highest that you start working on. And always name your plans accordingly as well, so that when you want to go back to your treatment planning system, you know that this plan with this specific name scored the highest, then you use it and start from it to get higher score, not lower. Okay. So what grid resolution for plan calculation, Ahmed? It should be less than 3. Keep in mind that if you use 2 millimeter or below, the size of your dose file will be extremely high. It will exceed 50 megabytes. So the recommended resolution will be 2.5, not 3, less than 3. So 2.52 will be reasonable. Just make sure that the file that you upload when it comes to the dose RD file should not exceed 50 megabytes. What software are you using for plan evaluation? We are using the pipeline scoring software, which is the which is the plan evaluation engine that Radiation Knowledge developed. And the author is Dr. Victor Alaves. He's one of the co-founders of Radiation Knowledge. Any more questions, guys? So, and any comments from panelists, from anyone? Please let me know if anybody has any question. Otherwise, we can conclude this session.
Great presentation, Ahmed. Well done.
Thank you. So, is there any resampling of the dose receiving for? This is a very good question, Camille. Yeah. Actually, we try to minimize the oversampling, so that we make sure that your whatever your treatment planning system calculates in terms of dose volume histogram will be very close to what pipeline scoring is calculating. If we increase the resolution of the sampling, or we oversample the structures and the dose bends in pipeline scoring, this way you will notice big difference between the DVH calculated by your treatment planning system and the DVH calculated by our pipeline scoring. So this is why we made it a bit regular sampling, so that the DVH calculated by pipeline scoring will be very close to that calculated by your treatment planning system, and the score that you get from your treatment planning system will be almost identical to the score that you get from the pipeline scoring. Yes, for sure. There will be a certificate for participants at the end of the event. So certificate for attending the educational course, certificate for those who attended the planning activity, and also certificates for those who attended the whole activity. Oops, it took us more than an hour, huh? I thought it's yeah, but I mean, there were so many questions, and I hope that I could answer all of them. And I really appreciate your attendance, guys, and I wish you all the best. And let's really work extremely hard on this plan activity and make it a big success. Please, I read about the, yeah, so another question, I read about the effects of tongue and groove on MLC IMRT. Can you say anything about its effect on the dose distribution? Yeah, of course, this is something a bit different that we do not care much about in the plan evaluation. This is very important for the dose calculation step, which is taking place in your treatment planning system. Okay, so this is why you need to push your system to the maximum so that you get the highest score. Then you export your dose file, and after that we will evaluate it. So the tongue and groove effect will not show on the DVH calculation. It will show on the dose calculation on using your own treatment planning system. Okay, so I think by this I would like to thank everybody who attended and everybody who asked questions. And with this, we would reach to the end of this session. And I would like to thank you all for your questions. So if anybody has any question, please send it to me via email. I will make sure that I will answer them via email in more details, okay? Okay, so thank you very much, guys. And I wish you a good day.
Thank you. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Kathy, for your attendance. Thank you.